about being married 20 years. And everybody was like, this is some great nuggets. And it was just off the top of my head about things that I learned. So, Greg, you wanted to say the first one?
I would love to say the first one that we can expound upon. Let me stop. Let me behave myself. Be led by spiritual principles. Sometimes when either Cheryl didn't know or I didn't know what to say or do, we called on our spiritual source. She would call out God. I would call out God. Sometimes I exclaim the universe. Sometimes you just have to walk and just meditate on it. Now, Cheryl, with that first one being led by spiritual principles, what comes to mind to me is that, as you were sharing just a couple of moments ago, when it comes to marriage, there's no blueprint. There's no magical blueprint. Now, there are plenty of successful marriages, and there's plenty of those that have failed as well. So, somewhere in the middle, you're starting to look for the different parts that you can utilize to make sure that you have a successful relationship. And a lot of those goes to your spirituality. It's not about your religion. It's not about whatever you call the deity that's in your life. What it is about is that there's a connective source within you, your spirit, and we all have one that's resonating inside of you that's connecting to someone else's spirit. And by doing so, you start to understand that there are times she want to choke me. There are times I may have the thought to want to choke her. But spiritually, it comes back to saying, it comes to check you. It comes to show that, you know what, you're not actually all that correct in a particular situation. And sometimes you just got to step back and look at it from a spiritual aspect, and just to say that if this is truly my partner, they're not going to be magically omnipresent. You're not magically omnipresent. You both have flaws. And by within those flaws, and you start to focus on the strengths and not the weaknesses, and things be able to grow and to get to the higher point and some level of longevity. This is easy to get mad at someone and then turn around and says, well, I'm leaving. I don't want to see your face again. Why? Because maybe the room was a little uncluttered, or they left their underwear in the bathroom, or maybe they just didn't call. There's so many crazy situations that occur that people use to minimize their relationship, that almost it becomes laughable. But if your spiritual foundation is there, then you know that you have the ability to have a successful relationship that will have some level of longevity. And also through that longevity, hopefully you'll build a legacy. Cheryl?
Well, also, the thing that when I say spiritual principles, is something that's when you don't know what to like the next line was, when I didn't know what to do, I would call on God. And the thing is some people may turn to their Bible.
Mm.
Some people may turn to whatever it is that they're going to keep them to a point of just balanced. Because once you the spiritual principles that we led by, also you deal with things that balance the whole body soul.
Mm-hmm.
So the spiritual aspect of that is your whole body, soul, and mind. So if
Mm.
your whole body and soul is not connected with the one source, then what happens is you get out of whack. And then everything around you gets out of whack. So you have to center yourself, whether it be meditation,
Mm.
whether it be the Bible, whether it be if you go into the mosque, whether you're doing yoga, whatever spiritual thing, whether you're a Buddhist, whatever you're doing, and it's a spiritual
Mm.
aspect of that, it is what it is. And a lot of times for me, what I did was I would go to a place and I would just meditate and be quiet. I would just be quiet. And there's certain things that I would do, and I would call my spiritual mother and I would ask her questions, because when I don't know, I go to someone that I can now say, I need help in this area. And then
Mm.
I would have to be quiet, because there's certain things I know that I can say to him that would tear down his spirit. But with spiritual principles guiding you, you're able to now govern your mouth, your tongue, your mind, body, and soul is connected. And that's spiritual principles.
That was great. That sums it up in a nutshell, with number one being led by spiritual principles.